was touring the prison, and it was medieval. I mean, I think you and I, any three of us, could probably go out, get some pallets, and hammer together a less barbaric electric chair. In the room, there's also the gurney. They keep it for the same execution. Everybody, it's just like there's this guard giving us a tour. And I noticed on the back of the chair, there's these little tubes that are taped to the back. And I asked him, what are these tubes? And he says, oh, ammonium nitrate. I was like, wait, I know what that's for. He goes, yeah. If somebody who's being executed passes out from fear, they break the tube, bring them conscious, so they are conscious while they're being executed. That is the level of debauchery we're talking about. The level of abject savagery. To take a human being who passes out from fear and to resurrect them so they're fully awake for that experience. So after that, I went in and I saw the main block where the people who were kept on death row. I believe there was a woman that got exonerated. She spent like 15 years in these cells. And these cells, what is it, Chuck D? They are hell. We were confining people into hell. Over 5,000 years of life was lost by these people who were exonerated by DNA evidence. I think it was around 83 where we started seeing that. So I looked in the rooms, and the walls where these men are confined, and women, is about this space. And they're usually in there. They're up there for 24, 48 hours. If we had a zoo that kept orangutans in those conditions, there would be worldwide outrage. People would say, you can't keep a primate in a space, something built psychologically for planes, for the outdoors, deprive them of sunlight, put them in a means of social death where they can't communicate with their friends and family. And we box them in a way that we wouldn't treat animals. Luckily, I'm going to tell you the truth. What I see as a public defender. This system we're in has nothing to do with rationality. It has nothing to do with fairness. It has nothing to do with justice. What I see 3 to 4 times a week in the jail and every single day at the courthouse is a means of social control against the poor. That's what we're talking about.
Yep.
Because these other ideas, the idea of retribution, the thing is there's been thousands of studies. In law schools, they don't even talk about retribution anymore because it's been completely discredited. It has been discredited as a theory of law, as a matter of course. They won't teach it. I went to the University of Tennessee Law School. Nobody even talks about that. Deterrence, again, doesn't work. If deterrence worked, we would be in the most drug-free, nonviolent society in the history of this earth. Because we have over 2.3 million people locked up right now. We're number 1. And it's about, when you look at it, and when you look at the death penalty, what I see it is it's a further means of social control. When you give the state the ability to take a human being's life, that's a message. Because it's not about rationality. The statistics are clear. Since 83, I think it's around like 250 people have been exonerated. And of those 100 plus people that were on death row, I actually looked into those cases, and some of them are awful. You see why they gave, children being murdered and raped and blood and everything, and everybody just wants to stomp on that, do some killing. Put these people, but that's the problem. That's the problem. Those are exactly the cases where we should realize the state is far from perfect. Jesus, we've killed how many hundreds of thousands in Iraq and Afghanistan and across the world, as if we have some addiction to killing people on the other side of the planet? What aspect of our government has been infallible in anybody's experience? The IRS? Not a single branch of our, and in fact, we know we've been putting innocent people, juries have been convicting people. 12 citizens, picked at random, with a judge, have said, this person's got to die, and has been wrong. And the thing is, if they were wrong one time, that would be enough for me. One time, I'd be like, oh, we can't do that, that's just crazy. You did it 10 times, 20 times, we're talking over 100 times. DNA has said, no, these people didn't do it. And we still keep letting the state murder people because it's a means of social control. It's a way that we tell the populace. And look at the demographics of the people that were released on DNA. African Americans make up what? Is it like 12.1% of the American population? Could be wrong, I think it's around there. But when you look at the DNA exonerations, they're twice more likely to be one of the exonerees than a white person. The entire, I can go on about the death penalty for a while, but I mean, truthfully, I can stay in Knox County to look at what's going on. When we look at the death penalty across the country, that's kind of like the macroscopic, looking at the big picture. But when you just look at what's going on in our county jail, about 70% of the people that are incarcerated right now down by Easttown Mall have not been convicted of a crime. They are presumed innocent, but they can't get out because of the rich man's bonds that have been placed on them. We're dealing with a system that it has become a cattle farm for citizens. The jail here is not about justice, it's about harvesting resources off citizens. Every day you're there, you have to pay $50. $50 a day. You can't visit your family anymore unless you can use the pay-per-view. And even though every citizen can use Skype to communicate for free, you can see your family if you're willing to pay for it. They're on an 1,800 calorie diet that's been proven to be deficient in 5 different nutrients by their own person. And everybody loses weight at the jail, unless you can afford it. We have a commissary here. We understand you're losing a little bit of weight, but if you're willing to pay for it, even medicine, you don't get to see a doctor. You can see a doctor, but of course we're going to charge you. You have to do that call, and we'll charge you, and we'll charge you for the medication while you're in there. We have commodified the criminal justice system. I talk a lot. It's hard to shut me up sometimes. I'm not going to talk much further on this because it's something that's really close to my heart. But the fact is that our criminal justice system has been hijacked by oligarchs.